All right. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another stream. And it's been a while since we've been in this background, and I kind of like it. So as you can see on tap for right now, as you can see by the screen to my left, well, I don't know. The whole like flip camera stuff is a little bit weird, but as you can see, we have on tap Call of Duty 25. It's a gameplay deep dive. And I don't think I reacted, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I reacted to the original trailer for Call of Duty 26. Because I was really waiting for the Call of Duty 26 deep dive, which, as you can see, that's what we're reacting to. And I'm very curious to see how things are going to be different, how things are changing, what things they've learned, what things they've improved, because obviously it was a big talking point. It was a big deal when Call of Duty 25 came out because we haven't seen a college football game in a decade. And that's why when it came to any trailer, any news, any blog post, we immediately made a stream about it because, hey, this has been a decade in the making. And now it's like, well, now it's an annual yearly cycle, so I can relax a little bit, ease into it. It also didn't help that, a ton of FNAF stuff also happened to release around the same time as this deep dive. Right, you had FNAF Seek of the Mimic, you had our FNAF Into the Pit playthrough. FNAF Dead by Daylight is something that I've put on tab as a possible stream idea in the future, so I guess maybe we do FNAF Dead by Daylight DLC, especially since Matthew Lillard did voice acting for it. So a lot of FNAF stuff. And despite all the FNAF stuff that's coming out and everything, do not forget, we still got the movie coming out in December. So when that first actual trailer hits, you can bet we will be reacting to it. And I say actual trailer because the teaser trailer, the 30, 40-second teaser, didn't really say much. I'm talking about actual 2-minute going frame by frame trailer. And can't wait for that. But can't wait for this deep dive. Now, I will say before we hit play and everything, I know EA was in some controversy when it comes to this deep dive because people thought it was weird. Like, hey, Call of Duty 26 is coming out, in a week or two, right? And they released the Madden 26 deep dive first. When that game's come out August or September. So people are like, hey, where's this deep dive when you post Madden first? All right, enough talking out the way. Let's just hop into it.
Welcome to the EA Sports College Football 26 Gameplay Deep Dive. We'll share details about a massive playbook expansion, all new player types and abilities, improvements to wear and tear, new control mechanics, stadium pulse, physics-based tackling, and a lot more. Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. Here we go.
With real coaches comes a massive playbook expansion. For the first time ever, over 300 real college football coaches bring their unique styles and authentic play calling to the game.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea in theory, right? In college football theory, I guess. That sounds like a great theory, but who cares, right? Who really cares about this? And what I mean by that is this is not the first time where, especially a developer like EA, has said, hey, you guys like football, right? And our new game now has all these authentic playbooks and coaches from real life and everything. And you get the game and it's not authentic at all. For instance, in Madden 25, I want to say, they were boasting about in, franchise mode of how the coaches, are actual, the coaches, their playbooks are authentic. For instance, you have someone Ben Johnson who will do, the very aggressive, fourth down offense in Detroit. Well, now he's with Chicago Bears. You have someone like Nick Sirianni with the, tush push. You have Andy Reid with, the trick plays with Mahomes, right? You have all these like authentic, crazy playbooks from like real coaches' DNA, real coach playbooks. And then when you get the game and it's nothing. And people have tested this saying like, oh, I go to franchise mode, I sim through the season, and like every single quarterback throws for like 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and like 10 interceptions. So this is not the first time we have heard EA say, yeah, the coaches are now authentic. Their playbooks are now authentic. And you get to the game and everything. It's like, was it authentic? Wasn't really. And if my memory serves you correct, this is also a marketing point in College Football 25. How the offenses and defenses playbooks were different based on real life. Like, for instance, it was like a Michigan offense with, the ground and pound is different than, something like the air raid offense at like Texas Tech. If I'm not mistaken, that was a talking point from last year's game. So what's different this time around?
Delivering distinct program identities and more play calling variety. Over 2,800 new plays and over 45 new formations have been installed. New option types, motion types, bizarre play.
Also, this is minor, but what do you think of the scoreboard? I personally like it a lot more than last year. Now, I see the score bug, and I think, if we're changing the score bug, we still haven't had the, authentic, ESPN, banner for the scoreboard. We don't have the SEC score bug. We don't have the, college football on CBS score bugs. When are those getting added? And don't say, oh, it's copyright, oh, it's illegal. Because Madden already has the exclusive license for, companies like ESPN. So they have the license. Why not make the scoreboard as authentic as possible?
Plays and formations from last season are at your fingertips. And they're all tuned so you can craft a strategy that feels like your favorite program. 10 brand new player archetypes. And
quick step, physical ability, slightly improved movements, a pole blocker, deep range, physical ability, slightly easier, accuracy timing on 50-yard plus field goals, mega leg, physical ability, slight change to avoid the penalty for overkicking on all kicks, coffin corner, slightly easier accuracy timing when punching from midfield or closer. That's interesting they have kicker abilities, but hey, love it.
Rebalanced abilities, now 84 total, are designed to showcase the wide variety of skill sets we see in college football every Saturday. Improvements to how ability...
Wait, play that again? Hold up, play that again.
Now 84 total.
84 of these abilities. Which, very similar to what I was saying earlier about the authentic coach playbooks and everything. Like, 84 abilities. It sounds good in theory, but my concern is, this is a lot like how I am with, 2K when it comes to the badge system, where it's like, 84 abilities. Are they all treated equally? Are they all balanced? Or is there, of that 84 abilities, is there 5 that's the meta, that's overpowered, that's way better than everything else? And the other, if 5 are like the best ones, the other 79 are useless and just empty space. Just words on a screen. Right? Like, to me, all 84 should have a purpose. All 84 of them should be useful. Right? They all should be balanced.
Are designed to showcase the wide variety of skill sets we see in college football every Saturday. Improvements to how abilities scale are based on performance. When a player gets hot, their physicals receive a substantial boost, and Platinum tier abilities will automatically upgrade to the new, more powerful Heisman tier. The Heisman tier captures those unexplainable moments when a player single-handedly takes over a game. New Field Vision introduces more realistic challenges for quarterbacks. Shorter quarterbacks will now have more limited vision when surrounded by taller linemen.
Interesting. So if you're a short quarterback, there's almost just no point. Interesting. I wonder if this is just a quarterback exclusive thing. This is all positions. Like, let's say you have a short running back. Is this the same deal where you're not able to break through the pocket as easily as someone who's a lot taller? Right. Like, for every, Tariq Cohen running backs out there's someone like Derrick Henry.
And receiver icons will fade as they come in and out of view. To ensure balance around how different abilities affected wear and tear during hits and tackles, every ability in the game was reviewed and adjusted. New customizable.
I remember when wear and tear was first teased for College Football 25. I was one of the people who was very concerned and did not like it at first because I was worried that it would be extremely annoying, right? Where it's like your wide receiver gets hit once and he's now injured. He's now on the sideline. He now can't come back in the game and everything. And I was so worried that it would feel like this constant recurring pattern, this constant rotating wheel of game starts, first quarter, you have your starters in. Okay, cool. By the time the third quarter rolls around, you're forced to play your third and fourth stringers because your first stringers are all hurt and injured. And it's just very tedious, very annoying. And then we got the game and everything, and it's not as bad as I thought. And seeing this menu, because I don't think this menu was in College Football 25 where you adjust how frequently and how aggressive the wear and tear is based on positions. Instead, it was just wear and tear throughout. Interesting.
Auto sub options let you tailor personnel decisions to strategically handle wear and tear for every position. Take complete control with adjustable impact settings and battle real-world conditions with new weather modifiers that impact wear and tear.
Real-world conditions. So, I guess that means, a couple problems I see with this. Number one, so does that mean if you're playing in the Big Ten where it's really snowing right now, or you're playing somewhere in the South in the SEC where it rains a lot, so that means wear and tear is more aggressive. So that could be a problem. But not to sound like I'm nitpicking here, but if we roll back the tape for a second.
For every position, take complete control with adjustable impact settings and battle real-world conditions with new...
Battle real-world conditions. And you can see, it's not a blizzard, but the snow has come down really hard and the entire field is coated in snow. But all the uniforms are clean. Like it's a 70-degree day, clear sky, sunny. All the uniforms are clean, even though the field is completely coated in snow, and we're talking about real-world conditions. And if you want to say, oh, it's a minor detail for the uniforms and helmets to have, some dirt or some snow or get wet in the weather conditions. Yeah, it's a small detail, but it's all about that immersion, right? If I'm playing in a snow environment, in a blizzard, I want my quarterback to have snow all over his uniform, all over his helmet, right? If it's in a blizzard, I want to see the quarterback, have his hands and the hand warmers, so trying to, warm up everything to prevent frostbite. If I'm playing in a rain bowl where it's a monsoon, I want quarterbacks and any player to slide down the football field and they're just coated in mud and dirt and everything and rain. I want to see that stuff. Because if you want to say, oh, it's a minor detail, previous Maddens have done that. Right. Previous games have done that. We're asking for a feature that was previously removed to be brought back. That's all.
Weather modifiers that impact wear and tear. And you'll get instant feedback with new pre-snap visual cues that can affect a player's demeanor, indicating their condition right on the field. Updates to physics-based tackling make better tackles actually feel better.
Physics-based tackling. How many times have we heard those words and it comes to Madden? Physics-based.
New tackle types like wrap catch tackles and lunges and new timing-based skill mechanics offer more tools to disrupt and dictate the game.
When I hear physics-based tackling, especially someone like EA, I think of canned animations and not deemed of physics at all. Because once again, how often do we hear we've reworked everything, we've added all these new physics-based animations for tackling, we remove the canned animations, you're able to feel the authenticity on the football field and everything. Your players move exactly the way you want to and everything. And 2K has the same problem, by the way. I'm not just ripping on Madden. 2K has the same problem. And then you get the game, and it's all canned animations. Right? You get the game, and your player gets sucked into an animation where they are, let's just say you're on the line, you're playing defensive lineman, and you are trying to chase after the running back, but your defensive lineman is weirdly vacuum sucked into an animation because there's an offensive lineman right next to them. And instead of just, run around the offensive lineman, your offensive lineman is now stuck in an animation. He's sucked vacuumed in an animation where he's now being blocked by an offensive lineman, even though that's not where you're going at all, aka canned animations. So, I don't know about that, EA. I hear physics-based tackling and I think of canned animations and the exact opposite of physics.
With new authentic audio for big hits that adds realism and variety to defense. New dynamic subs allow...
Audio's great. Because Madden just feels dead, right? The Madden audio, I don't know what it is, but it's just dead. Having a huge hit stick popping a fumble. 5 seconds to go, left in the game, tie game. You throw a Hail Mary to win the game. Versus a casual, 3rd and 10 in the middle of the first quarter. All the audio is the exact same. There's no difference. There's no life. Right? Which, just once again, get back to the immersion when it comes to the weather stuff. It just takes me out of it. Right? So, if the audio actually does get pumped up for a big hit or an interception or a game-winning Hail Mary pass or something like that, great.
Real-time roster management without breaking from the action, enhancing the flow and strategy of every game. Make informed personnel decisions and get your starters back out there with one button press. A rebuild of offensive and defensive line interactions redefines trench battles. Control the direction of your blocks with new block steering, which factors in player attributes like strength and momentum for more realistic line of scrimmage play.
Line of scrimmage play, offensive line, has never been a strength for EA games. Never. I guarantee you, you can go back and really analyze frame by frame of this trailer, of this deep dive. You can watch and enhance on the offensive line, and I guarantee you will see like some canned animations, some things just don't feel wonky and are not authentic. I can guarantee you in this trailer alone. When we're talking about this section, which is about authentic offensive line play. But yeah, offensive line has never been a pro in EA games.
And the addition of stunts and twists delivers more depth and control in pass rush. 12 different types of stunts offer a range of strategic options before the snap, providing a new layer to the chess match at the line of scrimmage. We're introducing adjustable defensive zones for more precise control over pass coverage. Adjust the depth of where your safeties line up in coaching adjustments. Fine-tune your defensive strategies in real time and outsmart opponents. When you're on the
Outsmart opponents. I wonder when it comes to defense if it actually does get a rework and actually is better, because I would say defense was a weak point of playing College Football 25. The offense felt superiorly better, and it felt like instead of it being a chess match like football how typically is, where it's a chess match, instead it was, whoever gets the ball more, whoever gets more possessions more is the team that wins. Because the offense just vastly was overmatched in the defense, I should say. And pretty much every offensive scheme involved either slant routes or running on the outside with like either screens or pitches. That was pretty much it. That was like 99% of the offenses you would see in Call 25. It's either slant passes or runs on the outside. So I hope for Call 25 they made defense a priority and offense is not as superior as it was last year. I hope. But let's get to the fun part. Stadium Pulse, aka atmosphere, environment, aka the pageantry of college football.
The home field advantage side of Stadium Pulse, it's a beautiful thing. But for visitors, Stadium Pulse in College Football 26 is louder, tougher, and more personal, elevating the chaos of night games at already tough-to-play places. More intense camera shake, new visual disruptions, and distorted clocks will throw off your timing and communication with dynamic intensity depending on the game situation or career moment. Pre-order the...
Okay, so that's it. I would say a couple thoughts. Hold up. There we go. So that's the end of the trailer. So I guess thoughts on it. When it comes to the stadium atmosphere, pulse, all that stuff. Score the lines, clock management, not being able to do play art and everything. That's all great. That just makes sense to have and everything. I have no problem with that. I would say one thing I did think was very, very interesting and I liked in College Football 25, and I don't know because they didn't mention it. I don't know if it'll be a thing in College Football 26, but as a quarterback, I liked going to a toxic environment and trying to audible to one of my receivers to say, hey, go in a slant route or go curl or do an out route. And they don't do it because the crowd is so loud where they're not able to hear. I personally like that. So I hope that makes a return in College 26. I hope so. And when it comes to the stadium atmosphere, I guess we could nitpick on a few things here and there. Like, for instance, I don't know what it is, but if you're going back to the audio levels where it's like bump it up and everything, give some life, it kind of still felt like that. Like, sure, the crowd got a little bit louder in like a third or fourth down and everything. Like, the noise got boosted up a little bit, but I don't know, just wasn't like the old games. Like, it was great for what it was, but, it pales in comparison to what we got like a decade ago. And to me, that's not how it should be. So I hope the audio really gets boosted for like the crowd noise, stadium atmosphere, especially like third, fourth downs and everything. Like really bump it up and everything. Because I don't know, just the crowd atmosphere was just a little bit louder, just bumped up maybe like 5-10%. Like I want it to go 100%, right? Like I want to like practically worry about losing my hearing because the crowd in a video game is that loud in a third down situation in a toxic environment. That's how it should be. And just be boosted up a little bit. And I will say for Call of Duty 5, which I thought was very, very weird, but since we're just wrapping up and give my thoughts on it, one thing that was really weird is mascots were not as featured in Call of Duty 5 as I thought. For instance, not sure if you can see, by this logo right here, right, for Mizzou. Not sure if you can see that. There you go. Weirdly, Truman the Tiger was not a mascot in Call of 25. I don't know why that is. Right? I mean, they're iconic, they're popular, they've been around for decades. I don't know how you can just forget them or not add them, so add Truman the Tiger in Call of Duty 26. Please. So let's see. Is there any other thoughts I can give on the trailer deep dive? I would say I'm gonna play it on stream just like last year and everything. And how long will I play Call of Duty 26 and everything? I'm not too sure. Not too sure on that. I would say there's not as much pressure as Call of 25 that I'm putting EA on. Because I was putting a ton of pressure on EA because, is it just a Madden reclone? It's the first college football game that we got in a decade, right? But here, now it's an annual release, and you just hope, knock on wood, that EA learns from their mistakes. EA learns from their mistakes and fixes them for the next game. But then again, this is EA we're talking about here, and that's a lot easier said than done. But yeah, I would say a couple nitpicks, critiques of stuff I hope for is actually enhance the crowd atmosphere and everything, because it was a little bit boosted, but not much at all. It was just a tiny bit. So really boost up the crowd atmosphere, actually make us feel like we're in these toxic environments. I just think it's weird talking about dynamic weather and realistic weather, but the uniforms are clean. So that feels a little bit odd to me. And yeah, finally, in closing, the offense was just the superior force in Call of Duty 25. They had just endless amount of weapons, and the meta once again was just either slant passes or outside runs was just the meta, and the defense could do absolutely nothing about it. Even when you knew your opponent was doing a slant route or run the outside, they just had superior blocking on the offensive line, or their players were just vastly superior and faster, where you could not do anything on defense. So I hope defense was a priority in Call of Duty 26. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think about the trailer and whether you agree or disagree on my thoughts. Because hey, I think we all just want the same thing at the end of the day. we all just want a good football game, right?